Hello everyone, welcome back to Noelcrafts. My name is Noel and this is my very first podcast on this channel. So this is going to be a typical knitting podcast where I'm going to share with you my finished projects, the yarns that I used, and then I'll also be sharing with you my whips. So let's get started. So the first of my finished items is this beautiful sweater here. It's a kid size sweater. I made this sweater sometimes back, maybe a week ago, no, 2 weeks ago. This sweater is basically an all cable sweater, as you can see. The cables run from the front to the back. We also have some more cables on the arms. They are on the both arms. For the construction of this sweater, I did need the back panel up to somewhere around here, where the arms end. Then I came back to the front, picked up the stitches here, continued knitting up to here, then I joined in the circle, and I did knit the rest of the body in the circular up to the ribbing. Then later on I came back and picked up stitches for the arms. Then I did the neckline. Now here is the problem. The ribbing on the body is a 1 by 1 rib, as you can see. The ribbing on the arms is also a 1 by 1 rib. But then on the neckline I did a 2 by 2 ribbing. Although it is folded, but it was a 2 by 2 ribbing. Why did I change to a 1 by 1? I did the neckline first before I did the ribbing on the arms. After doing the ribbing on the neck, I was not impressed. It is also not the neatest neckline, as you can see. That's why I decided to just pick up something easier on the arms and on the rest of the body. The mistake is noticeable. You can easily see the difference. But for someone who is not a knitter, will not easily see the mistake. The other mistake that I did on this sweater is that the neckline is the ribbing on the neckline is very short. I could have done some more rows or maybe a few centimeters more before folding it. But then remember, there was no specific pattern for this sweater. So I was just trying to figure out as I go. I used 2 strands of Robin's yarn. This is the brand. But as you can see, it is very thin. So I used 2 strands of this, but in the color blue. I don't have one of those to show you right now. But I used 2 strands of those. Then I used the 5mm hook. It is warm and it also fits my son. So that's a plus. So let's go to my other finished item, and it's also a sweater. I don't have a specific pattern for this. It's my own construction. That's why I made so many errors on this one, but luckily I did correct them and I ended up with a beautiful sweater. So here is the sweater. I don't know how clear this is going to be on camera, but I did take some clips before. It is a very warm sweater. I initially intended to put here a zipper, but then I realized that if I did put a zipper there, the chest size would be very tight. Because it's my own construction and I was not exact on the measurements. So this sweater is not yet blocked. I just finished it the other day, although I started knitting it quite a while ago. But due to the many problems I encountered knitting it, I did put it aside for some time and forgot about it. So when I finally decided to pick it up again, I did finish knitting it. The neck ribbing is done in 2 by 2 rib, so you need 2 stitches, you purl 2. As I told you before, I initially intended to put on a zipper, which I did not. I changed my mind, so it's going to be this split. I don't know if that's how it's called, but it's pretty. It's beautiful as it is. The ribbing on the hands is also 2 by 2. Then on the body is also 2 by 2, and they are all folded. So about the yarn that I used on this one, I used knit worsted yarn. It was a good yarn. The yarn is soft. It flew off my needles very fast. Then I just realized it's kind of elastic. I don't know how that is. I've never used it before, so this was my first time, and I think it's stretching too much, which just shows by the time I'm blocking this, it may increase in the size. I don't have a problem with it because it's for my son. And about the construction of this sweater, I did knit the back panel up to here where the arms ends. Then I picked up stitches on the front. I knitted this part separately. So I continued knitting them separately up to somewhere here where the zipper was supposed to start. Then I joined the two panels, this one and this one, continued knitting on them up to here where the arms end. Then I joined the two pieces of the body, the back and the front, in the circular. Then I knitted the rest of the body in the circular. Later on, I picked up the stitches of the arms. At first, I did pick them wrongly. They seemed to be puffing out, like ballooning out, because I did pick them here extra. So I had to redo the arms. Then I did the other one later on. And about the neckline, at first I had not folded it. I was just planning to leave it like this so that it has the collar, but it did not look right. So I decided to fold the neckline like this. It's a bit thick, but it's okay. And it also turned out great when I folded it, which is a plus. So yeah, this is how I did. So I did knit this on 5mm hooks. And as for the yarn, it's from knit, a knit worsted yarn. If you don't know about knit is a company from Kenya. It makes all yarns. It also does the spinnings and all that, blankets, everything fibers. I love the product. I love the outcome. So another sweater for my son that turned out great. It's warm, it's soft. The only thing left here is blocking it, and I'm going to do it soon. So yeah, that's it for this sweater. So my other finished item are these two guys. They're actually accessories. So let's start with this one. The color is orange. It's actually burnt pumpkin. That's how it's called. And the stitch that I used on this one is honeycomb. This is how it looks. The yarn came from Robins. Robins is also a company in Kenya. In fact, Robins is just the name of the yarn. The company itself is called Knit. So it's a yarn from Knit. The yarn is called Robins. Same as these ones, Robins. The construction of this headband, I did knit a panel, a very long panel. Then I started with a few stockinette stitches, about 3 centimeters. Then I picked up the honeycomb stitches from here. Then I did go along with the honeycomb stitch all the way to the end of the panel. Then I added a few stockinette stitches. Then I did cast off. After casting off and did the binding, sewing up together, this is how it turned out. So the reason why I decided to add some few stockinette stitches to the start and to the end of the panel, it was so that when you twist them together, it doesn't create a bump. I felt like the honeycomb stitch will be dense and may cause a bump around here with everything going on with the stitches. That's why I decided to add a few stockinette stitches. The chickens on the background are very noisy. You may forgive me for that. which made twisting it a bit easier. It's more flat. I used the 3mm needles, and this is how it turned out. So that's it for this one. Let me show you another accessory, and this is it. The same yarn from this headband, the burnt pumpkin. The color is called burnt pumpkin, and it's from Spin Knit, the Robin's yarn. As for the other shade, it's maroon, and I think I have it here. This is it. So the inspiration for this headband, the color combination comes from Harry Potter. If you are a fan, I know you recognize this. For the construction of this item, there is no pattern for this ear warmer. I call them headbands, but I'm going to walk you through it, how I made it to how we got here. So I did cast on 60 stitches. Then I knitted everything in the round. I first knitted the maroon part until we got to half of what I wanted, like half the size of the panel before you fold. From there I changed the color. As you can see, there is a small stitch misbehaving there, but yeah, I did change the color. Knitted 3/4 of that, maybe 3/4 of this, so somewhere around here, which is here. I also changed the color back to maroon. Knitted about five rows in maroon. Then I went back to the orange part and knitted the remaining part to equalize the size with the maroon one, so that this orange part is equal to the maroon part. After that, I did cast off. Then I twisted everything up. I sewed everything up, and that's how it came to be. So after joining everything up, I did block. I soaked this ear warmer in water, made sure everything is covered up. Then I squeezed off the excess water. Then I laid it flat on a flat surface outside on the sun. So this is how it turned out. The stitches are very clean. It looks more professional, which I love. I love it. I like it so much. We are done with our finished items. We are going to our whips, and so far I only have one whip. I've been lazy lately on casting on. I don't know why, but that's also okay. So I only have one whip, and it's this sweater that I plan on finishing. I don't know when I might finish, but I plan on finishing this. This is the front part. I'm already done with the neckline. As you can see, it's folded very thick. And about the back side of this sweater is very interesting. It has these beautiful mushrooms, which I love so much. So the front panel is going to be plain to the end, to the ribbing. Then we are going to add a pocket, a double pocket, but in this color. Because if you can see, the mushrooms are made in the same color. So I'm going to have a pocket to the front that is knitted in maroon. Then the arms are going to be plain green. I'm knitting this in 2 strands of Robin's yarn, as you can see. It's a bit thick. I'm also using the 5mm hooks. Yeah, 5mm hooks. The yarn is from Whole Robins. which is from Spin Knit. This is the yarns. It's from Robins. I had to roll this one up to make sure it's double stranded, just to make work easier. It's soft, it's easier to use, it's also growing up faster, which I love. I'm hoping by the time I make the next podcast, I'll be done with this whip and I'll be able to show you when I'm done. So this is it, guys. This is all I had for you for today. This being my very first podcast, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm hoping for the best. I hope I inspired someone on this. Thank you so much for watching up to this end. I hope I inspired you to knit something beautiful for yourself or for your little one. So until next time, if you love this podcast, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll really be grateful to you. Until next time, bye.